Hello, friends. Welcome back to White Girl Monthly. I'm Dominic Rabrin. This month, we've had a wealth in terms of white women creating art. And as usual, I will talk about the top three. The first, of course, is from your viewer submissions. Anna Kendrick, popular actress from Pitch Perfect 2. This critic gives her 3 Meg Ryans out of a possible 5 for her white girl rating. I found her singing, her a cappella performance in the movie to be quite exquisite, and of course she is always lovely. Her mouth, however, is perhaps a bit too small for this critic's taste. Number 2, the second white girl of this month, is of course Taylor Swift. I believe her new song Bad Blood, featuring a very talented artist, a rapper who I'm not quite familiar with, named Kendrick Lamar. Yes, it is quite brilliant. His performance is excellent, adding an urban flair to this song, which has several million views already on YouTube. Fantastic. Taylor Swift this month gets 3.5 Meg Ryans out of a possible 5. Yes, thank you for your submissions. And the third and top white girl for this month is, of course, Charlize Theron. For her performance in Mad Max as Imperator Furiosa. Yes, she is not only disabled, but fierce in this film. Fierce! And, of course, ravishing. Ravishing! One of my favorites. With the motor oil glistening on her forehead, acting alongside a brilliant, handsome, white actor, Tom Hardy. I give Charlize Theron 5 Meg Ryans out of 5. Yes, you heard me. You must watch this film, Mad Max Fury Road. And that has been my segment for White Girl Monthly. Thank you, of course. I've been Dominic Rabrin. And the next segment is, of course, Julio's in-depth analysis of Illuminati imagery in white women's media. And this month, he will be examining the presence of the Illuminati in Taylor Swift's video, Bad Blood. Stay tuned, and thank you.
You're listening to the Double D's podcast.
I'm Dom.
I'm d.respect.
He's got a great set of tits.
I get so angry thinking about this kid.
Because that's what most people are bitching about.
Up in New York, you know what I mean? We like to eat out here, you know?
You gotta stop looking at interacting with people online as a cheap date. My father used to drink.
Get the fuck away from me! I'm done!
I come a lot, by the way.
You're doing the rap stuff.
If you didn't say it, somebody in the comment section would have said it.
It's like how you feel when you're having a paranoid high.
That's a dynamic connection right there.
You're not gonna bust a rhyme? No? I hear something. Oh! He's racing. There's a car. What was that?
You listening to Double D's podcast. Oh, that was nothing. Don't worry about it. It's my life.
I'm Dom.
I'm d.respect.
I gotta say, I know this is breaking character, but I killed that fucking intro.
That you did.
I fucking murdered.
That you did.
I'm the Michael Jordan of this podcast. I'm just gonna say. I'm Jordan, dude.
I don't know.
I'm the Steph Curry of this shit.
Oh, don't you fucking make a Steph Curry reference. You knew when I'm in Steph Curry 5 minutes ago.
I learned about him like 3 days ago. Okay. But you throw me the ball, I'm getting a 3-pointer, dude, every time. Okay? I'm taking us to the championships. Okay? You're Shaq. All right?
Shaq? Why would I be Shaq?
Because you're a point guard.
Oh,
is he a point guard?
That was terrible. Fuck.
Is he a point guard?
That was an embarrassment. Go Google your mistake. If you're listening to the Double D's podcast via iTunes, we always want to remind you to be active within the iTunes community. Please comment. Please subscribe. It helps the Double D's podcast out so very much. I think if I can get to a point where someone out there can say so along with me, I think we've got something. You think so?
That's your catchphrase?
So no. You have to. There's different inflections. There's so. All right, get it right to pay the price, sir. All right.
Sounds like he has a dick in his mouth. Am I right?
Oh, no, that's not true. That's
zing. Gay joke.
Guys, and I also want to tell you, all right, serious on a serious note, about these sticker orders. Right now, I want anybody who has sent me a email about stickers to stop what they're doing right now and send me an email with your entire. Some of you have sent me your entire addresses. I understand. Please send me an email with your entire address. Now, entire address includes your zip code. Please, the entire mailing address is what we will need to send you those stickers. Obviously, we can't just guess what the rest of your address is. So please do that right now at d.podcast@gmail.com. That's d.podcast@gmail.com. We need those orders, man. We need them.
Thanks for submitting. And thanks. Yeah. Anyway, what's happened this week? What's been going on?
What's been going on this week? I've been living. I've been out here. I've been getting it, my dude. I've been getting.
You been on your grind though? You been grinding?
I've been on my grind, sir. I've been on my grind. How about yourself?
Stacking that paper. That's what I've been.
How about yourself?
Stacking paper? Not really. Mm-hmm. I don't even like using that term as a joke. What have I been doing this week? Hanging out. Am I weighing out? Big shit happened this week.
Any dates? Any
I
iron
went
in
on
the fire?
I went on a Tinder date with this chick, and it just went not well. Meaning I never got to touch her, and I mean, I wasn't that into her anyway. But it was just kind of something to do.
Bullshit.
What do you mean bullshit?
You weren't that into her anyway.
I wasn't, man. Even if I got to get with her, I'd be like,
So, did you basically got catfished? Is that what it is?
No, I saw her picture. It was accurate. It was
accurate. Okay.
It was accurate. I'm actually like 10 pounds fatter than my Tinder picture.
Well, everybody is. I mean,
girls are. Some of them are like, "Wow, you look way better." That's what you hope for.
In person?
Yeah, you hope that they're better looking than their picture, because then it's just only better from there. I think most girls look better than their pictures. I'll give them that.
And I agree with you, because I've known women that I've seen online, and I see them in real life, and online they're trying way too hard to look pretty when they're naturally pretty. But
yeah.
a woman's insecurity will never allow her to understand that.
Dude, I hate this shit now. We're like, ugh, every girl has the same dumb haircut where it's like side swept. For some reason, it's like girls are shaving the sides of their head, or it's this thing where we don't like the even haircut. There's no even hair. It's like, even if it's an even hair, you have to sweep it all the way over to the side. And then there's this Instagram pose where
the Danny Brown haircut.
Yeah. But they do this shit where, I mean, if their hair's long, it's still swept really heavily to one side. And they do this pose where, I'm doing it right now, you can't see, I'm holding my ample hips right now. You put one hand on one hip, right? And the other hand is not on your hip. You
okay.
follow me?
Okay.
Follow me, camera guy?
I got
so
you.
Whatever the hand that's on the hip, you lean in the opposite direction of that.
Okay.
So if my hand is on my left hip, I'm leaning to the right. My arm is dangling, though. Mm-hmm. And you have to bend at the waist, and your hair is dangling in that direction. You will see this pose in, like, I'd say 60% of Tinder profiles, and probably OkCupid shit as well. It's horrible. It's unimaginative. It's like the amount of time the women spend on their makeup and their hair and all that shit. It's like you can't think of any other way to look more unique. It's like there's nothing else you could, like, you're just going to do what everyone else is fucking doing? Why? Why do you spend 3 hours getting ready just to take that fucking selfie picture with the duck face? It looks like everyone else's.
What is your... What's a home run for you as far as a Tinder page, as far as a social media page? The pictures aside, obviously you'd like to see a healthy-looking white woman. But besides that, what would you like to see her do in pictures?
I want proof that she sort of spends time and effort trying to be unique or artsy. and I don't mean in like an annoying way, but sort of like it's like you just can tell some girls will just take, and this is super rare, but they'll just take time to think about like the composition of a picture. It's like their face is like square in the middle of it. Maybe they're not even smiling. If a girl is not smiling in her picture, I'm like, ooh, that's rare.
You like that?
I'm into it, man.
But you like it because it's rare, or you like it because you like it?
Both.
Okay.
I think women are way hotter when they're not smiling, when they're crying. That's sexy too.
That's what you would like to see.
Yeah, just weeping. I want a animated GIF of them crying. No, but in all seriousness, them not smiling, them sort of being themselves, not sort of pretending to be like a super fun dumb person who's out at a bar. Like I'm not interested in that.
Super happy, always positive.
Yeah, if they're in the woods, like holding a candle or like a gun to their head, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, there's a you know, you just reminded me of Unforgettable. You are you familiar with Unforgettable?
Unforgivable, you mean?
Unforgivable. I'm sorry.
I fucking corrected your reference.
It's not a reference. It's just
that was a reference.
I haven't seen that one in so long.
I'm the Kobe of this shit, man.
We was a silver ball. God, I love those things. I have no clue why that whole thing went viral, but I'm so thankful. It's almost like
Unforgivable. I mean,
yeah, you say you did it, you motherfucker. I almost feel like that video series was the biggest accident that went viral. You don't really know why it did. I mean, obviously,
because he never did anything.
Surface level, you could say it's because it's funny, which is just pretty vague to just say, oh, because it's funny. But it's like those stories are terrifying. I mean, and they're only okay because he laughs at the end of it.
And you know, it is a character, and I guess that makes it okay. But there really is no rhyme or reason to a lot of these things. I mean, there are, however, guaranteed things that go viral. Name one of them.
Cats.
What is the other one?
Slapstick comedy. Somebody falling. Somebody getting punched.
Violence. You're on the right track. What else?
Violence.
Violence and
anger.
Yes, anger. Of course.
Anger. Mm-hmm.
And the classic viral video. It'll always go viral. Someone flipping their shit, especially when they're in the customer service or they're serving someone or someone who's being served flipping out. That shit will always. That's cash right there. Money in the bank, as they say. Mm-hmm. You take a location like Starbucks, for instance. There was a huge shit this past week. This lady lost her shit. This Starbucks manager. You guys, the video is called Starbucks manager with anger management issue. You can also look up. I think there's one called Cunty Starbucks employee. But this lady goes ape. She has that. Oh, they said it's in Elmhurst. Where is that? Is that in Massachusetts? Elmhurst, Illinois. I was gonna say she has a kind of a Long Islandish accent, but this chick. How do you describe this manager? She looks Dominican to me, dude.
She looks like she could be Puerto Rican. I think she's definitely Latino.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
the hand movements, either that or she's Italian.
This video starts with. I mean, it's in the shit. Actually, there's a 2-minute long one. I watched the 55-minute one, the title normal one, and you can get title premium, which is like the 2-minute long one. It's sponsored by Jay-Z. Right. But this chick, the video opens with her just apparently. I guess it doesn't even really matter. Something went wrong. There wasn't a straw in the girl's drink or something, and the lady is just. The manager's like, I do not care. I do not fucking care.
Yes.
She loses it.
Yeah, you know, the minute I saw this video, she starts at a 10, and the hand movements, everything, the head movements, and as soon as I saw it, you can just feel. I mean, even though it's a computer screen, you can tell when somebody's energy doesn't. When the punishment doesn't fit the crime. Yeah. When it's just too much and you just know that somebody is just projecting 100%. They are no longer, their physical body is in the situation, but they are somewhere else right now. They are located at the center of their brain, which is whatever the fuck has been ruminating in their head the entire day, whether it's her relationship issue or her money issue, her kids, whatever the fuck it is, man. Maybe a family member of hers that's, has an ailment, but she is not talking to that customer.
Yeah.
She's not.
Because anger really is, it's a flame. It's just, and it's destructive. And this chick, at some point, she turns, like some people are trying to tell her to chill, and she's like, I was not talking to you. I was not talking. And she's like, bye, 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 Satan. And she's unleashing the devil on everyone. And she's just, boom, boom, I'll give you some of it too. I don't give a fuck. Losing her shit. And it's like, at that point, it's like you feel... The sad thing to me about this video is like you feel her losing control as well. That's why, I mean, of course it's like she's being super cunty and all that, but I just couldn't help this feeling that this woman is just like you said, she's having a rough time, whatever the fuck. And that's the thing that we've lost in this life is context. It doesn't matter that her husband is cheating on her, who beats her at home. Mm-hmm. All that matters is how she behaves here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the sad shit. It's like it doesn't matter what happened beforehand.
I can only imagine that working at a Starbucks, the sort of people that you can deal with. I mean, I could just say as somebody who works customer service, I could see how something like this could happen. Not to this degree, not to this level, but I can imagine, you don't have context of the situation, but I can imagine that the chick behind the customer, I could tell that she's very passive aggressive. You can tell. Just the way she's standing there.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could just feel it. Right.
You're right. Because this is interesting. This is like ESPN. Look at the body movements. Very, the feet are parallel to the ground. The slow swaying. You can tell because she holds her hands out, palms up to the air, palms up to the ceiling, and she's like shaking her like, I don't know what I'm supposed to. I don't know. Yeah, classic passive aggression.
Yeah.
But she's not. I mean, of course, Latina chick is she's out the gate, just ready, dude. Mm-hmm. She's fucking ready to go.
Yeah. You don't see if this chick was nasty to her in a sort of passive way beforehand. I mean, look, I'm not justifying it either.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that it's okay if she was aggressive to her, but you can tell that maybe this chick probably said something like, so I noticed that I didn't have a straw in my coffee. Had that sort of tone, and it's like, bitch, I don't care. Get the fuck out of here. I'm having a fucking terrible day.
And you don't see the 10 employees that could have come beforehand. Of course, all these people in the comment section are like, one guy actually shat on me. I got flamed. This dude was like, people like idiots like you shouldn't be able to post. To which I was like, wow, that was like, people can be really fucking mean online. Shit.
No shit.
But there are a lot of people who are just right out the gate, just, this bitch, fire this cunt, fire. And on my standpoint is like, she had a rough day. I don't know if this happened.
Oh, she doesn't have a job anymore. There's no
I
way.
know that. But I find
No
that
way.
sad because it's like, I wish someone could stop and like, if I saw that person recording, I'd be like, you're going to lose your job in this moment, right? Is this worth it? Mm-hmm. Like, like you lose your shit one time and everything is done. That's the world we live in now, man. It doesn't matter what, like, if you got caught in that headlight, it's like, okay, in the video game series Gears of War, there's this
fucking goofy ass analogy. Go ahead.
This weapon called, this is a brilliant analogy. This weapon called the Hand of God, I think they call it. I think it's called the Hand of God.
Okay.
Hammer of God.
Oh,
Shut up.
Hammer of God. Okay.
Shut up. Yeah. What it is it's a satellite. You can only use it when you're outdoors. And you point this gun at someone, and you have to aim it, and you have to track onto them for about 5 seconds. And once you do that,
it homes to them.
What?
It's like a homing missile after that?
No, it's not a missile. It's like the heavens part, and a beam of flames just comes from this satellite and just incinerates the shit out of anything within like it's like a 10-foot diameter. It's scorching the fuck out of the earth. And this viral shit, that's how it feels like to me. You can be caught, if you get caught in that headline, that's the that's public opinion, that's the public eye. If you get that video of you losing it at any point, you're being scorched. You're done. Your job is done. Your life can be done. Anything. If you're caught in there. And it's like everyone's eye is just this beam that's just scorching everything. Mm-hmm. It never used to be. I mean, of course there's sort of good sides to it, because you can be a cop and be doing shitty stuff and you get your badge taken, which you should. Because this lady is not a cop. That's why I'm sort of sympathetic. I mean, I can be a little sympathetic to cops too, but I mean...
There was there's been a topic of conversation in New York City, because I think recently, in Los Angeles, well, maybe not specifically Los Angeles, but I believe minimum wage just went up to $15 an hour. And
are you really?
Yeah. The suggestion here in New York City is that minimum wage should be extended and maybe limited to fast food workers for $15 an hour.
That's insane, man.
And, obviously the counter arguments against that, the most popular one being that somebody who works at fast food, their skill set, they shouldn't be earning $15 an hour. It's like it doesn't add up. But what I would argue to that is, I mean, I've never worked fast food. I've worked with food when I was younger, but I wouldn't exactly call that it wasn't a fast food establishment. But what I want to say to that is, I mean, because there's a lot of people against it, I think the more logical one would be the tax argument.
Which is what?
Yeah, which would be if you're gonna increase the hourly wages, then maybe state tax goes up, and we all have to end up paying for that minimum wage worker. But then also what I've heard is maybe there wouldn't be a tax increase if you make less than $50,000 a year, which obviously most fast food workers make a lot less than that.
Yeah.
So I think if
we're
you
picking up the slack.
Yeah, basically. If you've never worked behind a fryer for 8 hours, if you've never dealt with people across a counter, where that thin line between customer and associate can just get blurred within seconds, if you did ever do that, then you'll know how much of a difficult job it is. And in fact, you would know how much of a skill it takes to keep your cool in a scenario like this. Now, I've been working retail for the past 3 years, and I'd say that every time that I had an episode with somebody, I progressively dealt with it a little better. I've certainly had my hiccups where maybe I've said things that I shouldn't have, but I think for the most part, I conduct myself in a pretty professional manner. But it's very easy. It's very easy to lose your shit with somebody, because 98% of the time, people will attack you on policies. It's not a personal attack. But very few times people will imply personal things. One time I had a lady that implied that I was gay. She attacked me,
God
and
forbid.
she well, I mean, of course, not in a setting like that. I mean, if a woman called me gay on the street, I'd know how to deal with her. But in a setting like that, it was was weird, because first of all,
gay or something? You don't know what the fucking fish oil is?
that totally makes a lot of sense,
Is
man.
that what
You're
she
right.
said?
Most faggots can't locate fish oil. Yeah, long story short, I don't know, she was having a fucking shitty day herself, and she told me something like, "Oh, don't talk to me because I like women." She said, "I like men who like women." Okay, and I don't think you like women. Yeah, and she just kept going off, and
Did
then
you
I was
just laugh at her face?
No, but I diffused her very easily. I said something to her, and then she kind of like fucking calmed down. She didn't apologize to me, but she was kind of civil afterwards. Yeah. Because I deal with these people very well, because I understand.
What did you want to do?
What did I want? No, man, I didn't. Because I was going to explain to you just now, because I understand two things. Number one, it's not their fault that I work there. It's not their fault that I occasionally, the risk of my job, just like if you're a cop, your risk is getting shot. If you work retail, your risk is a fucking stranger talking to you like they're your fucking dad. You know, that's the risk of the job. It's not your fault. There's a risk in every fucking job, and this is the risk within this job. You will get spoken down to. You will get treated like shit if someone's having a bad day. It doesn't happen very often because, you know, I work with vitamins and stuff. Normally people who come in the store are in a good place. They seek for health. So, hey, there's got to be something to that. There's got to be something to the fact that people that come in our store are in a good space in their life and they're looking towards their health. So people aren't shitheads, but occasionally it happens. So number one, it's not their fault that I work there. And number two, anyone who gets as upset as this manager, like I said, isn't arguing with that said person in front of them anymore. Just like that lady wasn't calling me a faggot. She might be calling somebody else that she knows a faggot. Whoever the fuck it is, I don't know who she's talking to, but she wasn't talking to me. So I understand those two fundamental things, so I don't get upset. So it's that exact same argument of, you know, the skill set and all that stuff that I think contributes to what it takes to be able to work a job like that. It's the attitude that most people in society take when they see you behind that counter, and that's exactly the patience that you'll require is to deal with that exact same person who views you as a piece of shit that doesn't deserve $15 an hour.
That's just poisonous to me. I think that's so fucked up. Although I really don't believe that a McDonald's employee should be making $15 at minimum.
There should definitely be a raise in New York City. Definitely.
What is it? What is it?
$8.75. $8.75.
I guess 10.
The minimum wage. Let me tell you something. The minimum wage in Florida is $8.05, if I'm not mistaken. The cost of living in Florida is significantly so much lower than New York City. There's no way that there should be a 60 to 70% difference in the minimum wage. It should be way more. It should be $2 to $3 more. That's ridiculous.
But I mean, obviously, I guess the issue is this is sort of a sort of main staple of the liberal versus conservative argument in fiscal terms. Anyway, I like how I sound like I know what I'm talking about. In fiscal terms, it's like, are we responsible for them versus should they just have to do their own, like figure out their own way, just kind of kick them on the wet, cold street? You know, I think I definitely lean towards the liberal side. I lean pretty heavily there, but I can understand the other argument sometimes. But I think it's very much, it's often couched in like this, it's cloaked in this dirty sort of, it's hiding this thing where it's like, oh, filthy, look at those filthy fools, like selling burgers, like look at them, ugh, like that. Like there's always a little bit of that. It's like, why should I have to pay for that? Like that sort of shit. I mean,
it is. It's fucked. I mean, it's understandable. It is understandable. Like I said, I don't necessarily agree that it should be 15.
Yeah. But
there should be an increase because the cost of living in this town is way too high. Way too high. I don't know if you remember that guy who was running for...
I knew you were going to bring up that stupid fuck with the
mustache. Rent too damn high. Rent too damn high. He was a kung fu expert. I'm not gonna look up this asshole's name. He was just like he
had gloves on, right?
Yeah, he was like a cartoon character. Rent too damn high. Rent too damn high.
It's hold, I'm fucking high.
All these schools gonna be going forward.
What was that?
Clothes on their back and food on the table. How the fuck are you gonna be able to afford it?
Hey, listen, man. Can I talk for a second?
What is it, Eddie?
Look. I'm trying to run for office, man.
Eddie, before you get to that, you seem to me like the type of person that would probably have a couple episodes with people at fast food places, and you would get upset.
Man, I'm actually really nice. I mean, people know me at fast food. You know, when I step in the place, everybody knows my name. You know what I'm talking about? It's like Cheers.
Okay,
it's like that show Cheers when I come in the spot.
Cheers. That was the show about hair salon.
No. This is a show about fucking. This was about a bar.
It was about a bowling alley.
No.
Okay.
It was a show about a bar.
Okay. So what's your point?
Anyway, no. The point is.
So what's your point?
When I go to the restaurant, I'm a frequent eater. You know what I mean? So people are always nice to me. I never have a problem. I never have a problem.
Heart palpitations? What's going on?
Hold on. I gotta go, but I don't feel so good. I gotta eat. I gotta go eat my dinner, man. Fuck. Diabetes acting up. I'll see you later, man.
Underwater Eddie, everybody. What's Underwater Eddie's Twitter handle?
Oh, well, it's Underwater EDDIE.
Funny how you were just about to catch a stroke, but you.
Yeah. Follow me on the Twitter though. I say cool shit. I say cool shit on there. I talk a lot about pepperoni and stuff that I like.
All right, Eddie. That's enough. That's enough, Eddie.
Okay, bye.
All
right, bye.
That's enough. Eddie plugs himself way too much on the show.
He does?
Yeah. I think he does. I think Eddie should start paying us for the free promotion that he gets.
Pepperoni and grease.
He just might have to. Hey, you were telling me before this podcast that I had gotten some shitty flack.
Yes, you got some flack. Pardon me, on hip hop heads on Reddit.
Heads on Reddit.
Pardon me. Ooh.
What do these fucks have to say? Okay, folks, if you guys aren't subscribed to my main channel, d.respect, I did a video. I did a video recently on Jay-Z's Tidal B-side concert. A concert that I will go on the record to say that I would love to go to a B-side Jay-Z concert. I would like to go to a B-side Nas concert.
What does that mean?
B-side just means like your secondary tracks, your tracks that aren't singles.
So they play the garbage tracks?
No, it's the tracks that your real fans know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when I heard that he was performing Ignorant Shit and 22 Twos, I was like, I wish I would have been there. But apparently I don't have Tidal, so hey.
You can only come in if you have Tidal, though. You know?
Would you like to come in? Yeah, Jay, only.
Yo, sign up for Tidal. Yo, Jay, I don't really. Hey, yo, sign up. Yo, write your name on here, though. All right, good. Thanks.
If they literally had people signing up for Tidal just right at the door.
And he's standing there, he's all sweaty with his big lips. Hey, yo. Hey, that's good, man. It's good. Hey, thanks. Sign up for Tidal. So this guy, Fresho_Wake on Hip Hop Heads, says, this dude needs to eat an apple and watch a sunset or something. In reference to you. He's talking about you.
He is.
You got another nice comment. Says from Young Cat Damon, who has a Tupac avatar, says, used to watch this guy's videos, but I really had to stop. He's way too bitter and critical. So much negativity. Ha ha ha.
Oh God, really?
Ha 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 ha.
What would he rather me do? Like what does that mean? What does that mean? Too critical? What does that mean?
You're too critical, man. You know what that means.
No, but
you're being critical again by asking that. You know what I'm saying, man? Why are you asking? Why are you asking about being critical?
But that's like, I mean, you're listening to a review. You're listening to reviews, which you listen to somebody's opinion. It's an editorial. I mean, it's if it's nothing else, it's going to be critical. When exactly did I tip over the critical scale for him? When did that happen? I don't know.
There's a lot of people saying mean shit to you.
Well, I mean, you know, you gotta look. I mean, if I've learned anything about the YouTubes, and commentary, it's that you can't sway. Okay, you can't sway. It's one of the
sway.
It's it ain't no Ralph though. That's one of the reasons why Rush Limbaugh is who he is. That's one of the reasons why Howard Stern is who he is. That's one of the reasons why a lot of these people.
Them?
No, it's.
Yeah, you are.
You said, am I comparing myself to them?
Yeah.
I'm using them as good examples. It's better than your fucking goofy Gears of War example.
That shit was tight.
No, it wasn't. It was terrible. You can't sway, right? So I don't think when you're doing commentary online, I don't think it's a good idea to consider all things.
Because you end up seeming less strong in your opinion?
Yes. It's like if you're writing a persuasive essay. You can't just say, well, on the other hand, if you're on the other hand, it's this, and on the other hand, it's that. You're going to get all the credit in the world for being a very, very fair person. You're so fair. And you're also a pussy. Just say one thing and stick to it. You
You
understand?
know what? That's a really fucking good point, because I have struggled with this about wanting to be really nice and down the middle, but people like opinions, man. And strong opinions are rare, and they're going to go be more and more rare as we sort of...
As
I'm
you
just
have, yeah, I know you're gonna do it, but I'll say it for you because I know what you're gonna say. When we
What?
have all these when we have all this information and all these things to consider, all these things to sort of take in, so that kind of skews our judgment and says, well, on the other hand, I am aware that there's this argument and that there's that argument. Well, then fuck it. Then this is my statement. Then, and I think that's the
partially
problem.
what I mean, that is, while that is true, sir, I must say that I was going to say that
okay.
In this world of like bloggers,
He's gonna change his opinion now.
Bloggers, I'm like scratching out everything on my. In this world of bloggers, people getting mad and like very very vocal minorities being boosted up to like rocket levels. People are just upset about shit. In that world, it's gonna be easy to be scared of people putting down your opinions. My roommate's coming. He's gonna be talking to himself again. Okay. What's up, man? Like you take a guy like a Patrice O'Neal, like his opinion, even if it was even if you knew it was super sexist and racist, or you just didn't agree with it, I just loved hearing him explain things to me, and I'd find myself nodding to shit. I'm like, you know what, he has a point. Or I just love hearing it. It's just funny, and like I just appreciate someone who's taking a stand and just putting his foot down. Sometimes you want to hear that.
If you're too caught up in considering all the variables, I think you're obsessed on being right. You're obsessed on coming across as correct, and it's not genuine anymore. This isn't about your stance. This is about you describing your stance at the beginning and then you trying to sort of appeal to another person halfway through your essay. So, sort of saying, all right, I proved my point to the liberals, and now let me get to the conservatives. Well, on the other hand here, this isn't very fiscally responsible. And some would say that, and I would tend to agree, because blah, 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 blah. But, so you can't, you seem inconsistent. And I know when I did that video, I do come across like an asshole. And that's a good thing. That's fine. It's good to come across as an asshole because... obviously, that bothers some people and it makes people interested, and they're like, "Who the fuck does this guy think?" I mean, I've said this before that different people follow you for different reasons. Some people follow you because they think you're a genius. Some people follow you because they think you're stupid. Other people follow you because they think they're smarter than you. There's a difference between somebody who thinks that you're stupid and somebody who thinks they're smarter than you. Some people just like to hear the sound of your voice. Some people just want something to play in the background. Some people can't fucking stand you. Yeah. And some people just love everything that you do because for whatever reason. But there's just so many different variables, and you're going to pick those people up along the way, but you can't try to pick them up. You just have to stick to your opinion, and whoever sort of just gets caught in the trap just gets caught in the trap. The guy that said, I don't watch this guy anymore, well, apparently you just did, or you're participating in a thread where I'm being discussed, so you're still contributing, so it doesn't matter to me.
Whatever, man. I don't watch you no more anyway.
Guy on the internet.
Yo, your views have been blowing up lately, man.
No, they haven't. My views never blow up.
You got 8,000 on this Jay-Z one and 9,000 on this gangster rap one from a week ago. That's a lot. Well, that's like 11 times what I get. Shut up.
You know what? We should have a discussion about on this podcast.
What?
We should have a discussion about scheduling. Because
I'll take you on right now.
Because that's something that you just don't understand.
Everyone's going to agree with me.
Okay, all right. Everyone's going to agree with you. Okay, so Dom and I, we've discussed this before about scheduling and how I've told him that I don't really believe in scheduling anymore. Of course, obviously I did because fucking when I started YouTube, I said Monday.
Yeah.
So I did the scheduling. I'm done with that. I've done scheduling. If you guys notice, the request videos are not scheduled anymore. They will never be scheduled for Monday. I mean, I may just drop it on a Monday one day, but it's not stuck to Mondays anymore. So, and the reason why I've done this is, well, there's various reasons, but that I believe that once you keep yourself to a schedule, your material then starts to become scheduled. I was explaining to Dom that when you tell yourself, I'm going to force myself to care or to have an opinion on Saturday. Every Saturday, I'm going to have an opinion. So it's like you're artificially turning it on. You're turning it on.
That's work, dude.
Every time.
That's fucking work. And you know I'm right on this.
No,
That is
you're not.
work. That's showing up to work every week.
No, it is not.
That's important. You're waiting. You're sitting there waiting for the inspiration to come. And granted, you've been knocking it out with these videos, and they've been really good. But you're not. I mean, I'm showing up every week. I'm saying you show up and you just keep hitting the thing. You keep doing it. I like the consistency and sort of the knowing that it's going to show up. And sure, like, it's going to dilute it. I know what you're talking about, and you're right. If I only had to do one video a month, it would probably be a fucking knockout.
Probably.
But I like being able to say that this is my regimen. I like a workout regimen.
But that's the problem. You see, when you do it on a regimen, it becomes about the regimen, and it doesn't become about the actual thing that you're making. So it's like, you're eating the menu and you're looking at the food. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're confusing the regimen with the actual work, with your actual content, with the actual quality, because there's a time limit to it. And it becomes rigid. It becomes like that. I know. Look, I understand the argument of, yes, the repetitive.
You show up to fucking work. I don't want to sit there and think about it instead of making it. Mm-hmm. It's like, no. I still want to be able to sit. I gotta be able to get down and fucking make the thing, even if it's not going to be that great, which happens all the fucking time. Where I'm just like kind of squeezing something out. But I value that.
But you should never have to squeeze something out. That's what I'm saying. What's the point of shining up a turd? Because that's what you're doing.
I'm ready whenever. That's the point. I'm ready. Like, sharpening my knife.
But that's what I'm saying. You see, there's still an emphasis on you just being ready. Through none of that have you said, I'm fucking, I'm doing something that I'm very proud of every time. You're not saying that because you can't possibly.
It's not about the one. It's not about the tiny pieces. You make 100 paintings, and 3 of them are going to be good. It's quantity. It's like when I look back at the whole thing, I can't make hip hop RPG without making 50 weird ass weak videos where I'm just practicing and experimenting. What I have not mentioned just now is that I challenge myself in little ways every time I make a video to try and make something look different, or how I'm going to generate content. This is practice for me. Practice is super important.
Well, see, okay, so here's the thing. The thing. Okay, then obviously what you're creating on your channel isn't what you're trying to create right now. So what you're trying to create on your channel, that's it. That's what it is. It's practice. That's what it is. So Dom Diggs is practice. All those things are practice. So they're not as meaningful to you, right? I mean, I guess that's what you're saying. They're not as meaningful to you. That's why you're willing to pump them out.
Good point. But
that's what I mean. And the reason why I can speak from this is because obviously, like I said, I've done scheduling.
I think you've been doing it longer than I have.
And well, I don't know. When did you start YouTube?
I mean, DSC started like 3 years ago. That's like my real revival. Like, that's when the real shit started.
Okay, yeah, I started YouTube in 2011. So I mean, it's not because I've been doing it longer. I'm just saying because me personally, because I've done the schedule. But
let's not lie. There's another factor here.
What's the factor?
You're dumb. Okay, no, I'm joking. But the other factor, I just end the argument. I just reduce myself. You're a duty head. No, the other thing is that your style of you're super relaxed about fucking everything. But that's your because we argue about.
You know what, man? You know what? You know what's fascinating about what you just said? I had 2 female coworkers over the last week that told me the exact same thing.
That's how you're really like, it's gonna happen when it happens. Let it flow.
Am I just an apathetic person to everybody?
No.
What it is?
Do not get it. No, do not get my words twisted. Apathetic is like, let's not even put a show out. You've never been that, but you're like, if it doesn't come out this week, we didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I, on the other hand, am like, if this didn't come out on Saturday, we've failed on something.
Okay.
That was wrong.
Well, okay. Because this is the other thing, right? That you said.
Right, no, yeah, but this is the overall thing. I don't think you're like flogging yourself when you don't put out a video.
No.
Yeah, see, that's the difference between you and me. What's the difference between me and you?
You talk a good one, but you don't do what you're supposed
to do. But that's me. Like I take this thing. I'm not. But that's the thing. Again, it's not that you don't take it seriously. It's like your approach to this thing is like it'll flow. It's like water. It's like it comes in and it comes out. Because like I said, you're putting out these knockout videos. You're just not doing it every fucking week. You're just not doing it. And ultimately, I think you come at the same. We sort of end up at the same place, but your mode of doing it is different. Like, think about this. Like, if you were to sort of train a YouTube kid who had promise, like, what would you tell him? What would your training thing be like?
The training would
the regimen, like
what the train, like, you mean like
like
how would it start? Like,
I'm curious
the first
now.
thing?
Like, how would you train someone to sort of become whatever the fuck it is we do? Like, we both show up consistently and make things. If a kid wanted to do that and he has talent and he has promise and he wanted you to tutor him, how would you do it?
Well, the first thing that I would do is I would ask him why does he want to do it? Because when I find out why, I'm gonna know how seriously he's gonna take it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna find out how serious he's gonna take it. I mean, it's sort of like I'll use the example of Bar Rescue, for example. Bar Rescue, which is a fucking show that I love.
We're shutting it down. It's too
because you don't care. Because you're a negligent owner. I love John Taffer. So John Taffer was told to give advice to anybody who wanted to open up a bar, and I think this is sound advice. He said,
yo, give me money first, okay? Then we'll talk.
I guess. He said, you never want to open up a bar for the wrong reasons. He said, because I can quickly tell when somebody wants to open up a bar because they want to drink, because soon they're going to be out, getting drunk and taking free shots.
Yeah.
You can't do it because you want to be this social person, because then you'll get caught up with the women and, you'll never be in the back, checking your books or anything. You have to do it because you love the business. You have to do it because you love the minutia. You love it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing more satisfying for me than just fucking cutting up a stupid fucking podcast and adding audio and just fucking leveling. I'm more in love with the editing than I am with the actual doing of it.
That is insane.
You know what I'm saying? I'm more in love with that.
Nuts.
So
that is really nuts.
So I think that would be the first thing. I mean, I do know that you and I approach it a bit differently, and it's because I don't believe. If I look at all the content that I like, and even where you're seeing the music world going, the music world is going random. It's random. Surprise albums are just coming out of nowhere, and it's just like, here it is, here it is, here it is. No, we didn't fucking promote it, but here are fucking 15 tracks. You fucking love me. Just fucking listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about the promotion anymore. It's like they're trying to, obviously it's more cost effective for them because they don't have to spend money to promote the album. That might be one of the reasons too, but it's random. It's random. And any podcast that I've ever loved is fucking random. You know what I'm saying? YouTubers, as far as I know, Anthony Fantano does not have a schedule. He might have one, but he doesn't say it.
But he pops out like 3 times a week.
Oh, he'll fucking pop out 3, 4, 5, 6 times. You know what I'm saying? I know I've spoken to him before, and I know that he has a regiment, of course, of how he structures his entire, I know I have to review something 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month in advance. I understand that. But there is nothing on his packaging. There is nothing that he says, I'm going to be back at this time. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have to do that. You understand? So I just don't believe that opinion of when you were younger and you loved Alf, you knew that Alf was there on Wednesdays. Yeah, but you also didn't have DVR back then either. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't know. I'd like to think that the content that we create, the content that I create, that you create, that everybody on the internet creates is the fucking same. We're going into the same pot as Alf started. You know, Alf is in the same pot as us right now. And it's just, there's just I just, schedules are unnecessary. I really think they are. They're really unnecessary.
Because you think they'll get to it anyway.
They'll get to it anyway. If you really like it, you'll get to it anyway.
You're right, because the way this shit works is you upload something and diehard, like, the core of your viewers will watch it immediately, but you know the views come in like 3-4 days later. It's like, it could be 2 weeks later. It's so like, and there are people watching shit that you made 3 years ago, so I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. When you see the comments on YouTube, you see your latest comments, and then some fucking guy says something about a video you made like 4 months ago, and it's like, oh, I love this stuff. This is great. And it's like, really, I've totally forgotten about that. But it's just, it just becomes more about the schedule, becomes more about putting it out than about the actual doing. Because like you're saying, it's like you take pride in just being there and being there and being there.
That's important to me.
It was important. It was important to me too. It was important to me to tell people that,
but
hey,
that's the thing though. You still are actually doing that. You're still being there.
But I'm not
Regardless
saying.
of what you
But
say,
I'm not saying
are,
I'm be here at that day.
Right. But I'm not gonna.
That's literally what I'm arguing. I'm arguing.
I'll be
about
there. Not Wednesday, but at
But
some
I'll be
point.
there.
Okay, at some point.
Right. I'll be there at some point. I will.
I'll get there. I'll get there when I get there.
Because if I look back at some of my videos, like maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I did a fucking video about a Joe Button mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's.
You should have done his shitty beard. Joe Budden's beard it's triangular. It's shapely. Look at the shape of his beard.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, you know, doing stuff like that, it's terrible. Who gives a shit? I don't care about. I've stopped caring about Joe Budden's music like 4 or 5 years ago. Like after he did the Mood Music series. After that, I've been done with him. So it's like, who really gives a fuck? And that's simply because I told myself, okay, it's Monday, gotta care about something. I listened to this mixtape a few days ago. Fuck it, let's give it a go. You know, so it's like that's contrived.
You realize you're talking about art making right now. You realize that's the core of this debate. Whether or not you want to admit it,
okay,
you're talking about how you like to create art. And it's a fascinating thing to me. Everyone is fucking different. It's like Andy Warhol and Jeff Koons. Like
who's Jeff Koons?
Jeff Koons is the guy who made the giant glass poodle that's like purple, and it's like that shit. It's worth like $50 million or some bullshit.
Jeff Koons.
Look him up, Jeff Koons.
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
He made these balloon animals, these giant. He does really weird sculptures. And when I say that he does them, I mean that his group of 50 artists make everything that comes out of his brain. Oh, he's not even touching them. If you see a painting that's a Jeff Koons, he didn't paint it with his hands. He just selected the colors, and someone else did it for him.
Okay, I've never seen any of these sculptures. I've never seen it.
Yeah, well, this shit is all you got to know is that it costs a lot of fucking money. But yeah, this is Jeff Koons and Andy Warhol versus let me just grab a random ass modern artist like Mark Rothko or something. His shit, and here's another guy. He's dead. His shit sells for like $100 million. He had his hands in the shit. Or like, I'll give you Jackson Pollock. He would never have someone else do his paintings for him. But it's like, the idea of showing up, producing a lot of stuff, I would argue that's probably Warhol versus another guy who's like, I do one thing when it's done, and then the next thing when it comes that's more like a Pollock thing. But this is just fascinating to me, hearing about how other people do their work, because you're still gonna show up, and that's the most important thing to me. Is like, as long as it gets done, ultimately, like I don't ever want to become the person who's like, I'm going to get around to it and then I never do. That's hell for me. I can never get to that point. So me showing up is a way, I think, of me like saying to myself, okay, like you sit down in that chair and you're going to make some shit because you're not, maybe I don't trust myself enough. That might be part of it. It's like I have to keep doing this shit because if I give myself too long of a time when I'm not making stuff, I could just like float into the ether and then not make anything again. Or at least that's my fear.
Well, I think if you release yourself from a schedule, I think also you can eventually produce more. I think I could see myself producing more content since I'm not doing it on a schedule anymore, because I find myself during the course of a day being able to jot down a lot more possible things. Because and also another thing that I think is very obvious is that people don't associate you with that day. You know,
You really think so?
I think so. I think if you let people know that you're uploading whenever, and obviously they get notifications to their phone, they'll check back to your channel a lot more often, because now the possibilities are endless. You're just not pigeonholed into that one day. I think so. Because it's like, oh no, forget about this guy. You only see him on Tuesdays. Like, that's the only time he exists to us. That's the only time he pops up. It's just on Tuesdays. Nobody gives a shit about him the other 6 days of the week. I think so. I think so. I mean, and if not, I will find out, because that's all this is. This is all just trial and error and trying out different things and seeing what works best. Because when you stick to one thing, again, obviously, like I've said, you become rigid. You can't adapt to change.
You need to be formless like water.
Shapeless. Exactly. You need
Tasteless, odorless like water. But I think I'd probably be, if I had to tutor a kid, I'd probably be a lot harsher on him than you.
Why is that?
I just feel like I'd be the guy. I'd be like, you show up at this time every morning. I'd probably be.
So you would be the old man on a mountain.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
With my long white hair, my long flowing beard. I'd be like obviously not fully like the dude from Whiplash, but I get that. It's like, show me how much you want this thing by giving up everything. I want to see what you will give up. I'm really into that. But
you show a person what they would give up when you ask them why they're doing it.
That's not enough. I get it.
If
I get the why.
Some kid tells you, like, why do you want to start your channel, kid? Oh, because I want to be YouTube famous. Right off the bat, yeah. This kid is a fucking loser. You know, because this kid is going to, regardless if this kid creates something that goes viral within a month, it's still going to be some dog shit. It's still going to be. There are guys at the top of this fucking pyramid of YouTube who have no soul in what they do. They show up and they do their Let's Plays, and it's not unique. It's just like everyone else's. There's no them in there. Even though they're talking, you can just tell, like, I think they somehow feel stuck as well too. And it's like, what am I doing? Like, makeup videos, like those bitches, like, what are they fucking doing? Well, not everybody.
What they should be doing is videos of triangle people and get 500 views every week. You know what I mean? That's the pinnacle right there.
That's what they need to be doing.
Yeah, that's the top. If you're not getting 500 views max, then you're some shit.
Well, not everybody takes a lot of pride in their work. Obviously, we take a lot of pride in work, but with some people, it's a living. With some people, they're making a living, and maybe they take more of a pride in other aspects of their life. And if they're doing something that's very vapid, but it's showing them some results, then they don't really give a shit. You know, obviously, it's very hard for you to see that because you take a lot of pride in it, and you know, your work tells you a big chunk of like who you are. But
yeah, I was an art major, so that's how I tend to think about things. Whenever I make something, I think about it in this weird context.
I was a art major at
that voice.
What university did you attend, Dominic?
The University of Maryland at College Park.
Maryland, and you minored in what?
In nothing. My soul only spoke to the art.
Only spoke to the arts. Okay. And when you had dates with these women, would you lay them gently on your bed and read them shitty poetry?
Yes, or I would listen to theirs and pretend like I was interested when I was just looking at their vaginas. Yes.
Back to the conversation when I was asking you about women. Have you ever dated a woman who was an artist?
Yeah. but a lot of posers in the sense that they just didn't make that much stuff, or it was just it was super derivative, and like they didn't even find their voice yet, or they weren't even trying, if that makes sense.
So it was just something that they just
It's
did.
like someone who calls himself an artist and all they do is draw pictures of Rihanna or something. It's
Okay.
come on, dude. What are you doing?
As somebody who just creates just to make it a conversation piece, just to be at a party at 2 a.m. and just say, oh, by the way, I'm an artist myself.
Yeah, or they're just someone who like draws eyeballs and they think that that's the pinnacle. And if you think that's what it is, then that's fucking cool, I guess. Or whatever.
So what does So in your view, what does make a person get the moniker of an artist? Is somebody who creates something once every 2 months?
That's a good question, man. Of course, man. There are guys like fucking Picasso would take like, of course it was much harder back then, but it would take him like 5 years to make a painting, man. So obviously, the time is not really that much of a factor, but I'll throw the word artist on anyone. I'll give it to you if you want it. If you want to call yourself an artist because you make Vaseline and you jerk off with it, fine. I'll give that to you. If we want to start talking about good art, or someone who's like, yeah, in my opinion, good art comes from people who are reaching in and giving you a piece of them, like something that's like they're giving you the scary stuff, the stuff that when you were a kid you were scared that people would call you a fag for like expressing yourself. Like to get on stage as a comedian and really say your opinion, like that's scary shit. That's art to me. It's you're risking things. It's risk. Mm-hmm. That word is art to me. Like, and whether you're risking something small, you're not risking anything if you're making ballpoint pen drawings of parrots.
Okay.
Unless, of course, you make like 1 million of them and you like divorce your wife because all you cared about is parrots. Like then we can start to. Do you know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
It makes total sense. This is kind of
it's risk. It's like stuff that's risky. It's like, what are you giving up?
You know, it's kind of like the conversation with in Birdman.
Exactly.
A conversation in Birdman that Michael Keaton has.
You just criticize.
You just criticize. You don't.
It's like look at this flower. He's like, what do you see here? Like you can't even. You don't even have words for this. Mm-hmm. You don't even know what this is.
You know, Andy Rooney once said that you've got to be very arrogant to be a writer, and I would just replace the word writer with just to be an artist, just to be a creative person, just to put a person who makes things. To think that
people are interested in your stupid
To think
shit,
that people, I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is that you could picture. If you close your little fucking eyes right now, any of you guys, close your eyes right now and just imagine anyone who you find remotely entertaining that does anything for public consumption. Anyone.
Okay, anyone. I have one in mind right now, man. Go on.
They're arrogant. They're arrogant. There's a certain amount of arrogance that it takes to say, I've got something worthwhile and I want all of you to see it. There is. A lot of people tend to think that it's more connected to attention, and I beg to differ. I think it's more triggered towards arrogance. I think arrogance is what makes you continue to create. It's what makes you believe in the outcome of this shit, even though you have no fucking clue what's gonna happen, because you're fucking arrogant. You have this blind belief in yourself, and that's what.
That's true.
That's how people create great shit. It's just like, I don't give a fuck.
But that's what you need, because if you don't have that, you're not making jack shit. Because you realize that your shit is stupid.
Yeah. Which is why the worst question that I've ever been asked on this whole YouTube journey was, I used to have a live blog talk broadcast that I would do. I don't remember how often. I did a few of them with a guy on YouTube that, I mean, if you guys remember Nick Bag TV, it's just one of my most favorite YouTubers of all time. Nick Bag was somebody who I considered a friend. We would have personal conversations. I would give him hand skis, everything. But no, he's somebody that I definitely considered a friend outside of this whole internet stuff. And him and I used to do this show where we just used to riff about things. And someone called up the show and they literally asked So, where's this going, guys? Dude asked us on, I don't know what my response was. If you guys Google Nick Bag TV, D.respect, live blog talk, maybe you'll find that conversation, that episode.
So, where's all this headed?
Where's this guy going? And and that's my point. When someone asks you that and you're creating something, whatever the fuck it is, you are an arrogant person and you're coming from a place of arrogance. So it's like you never consider that because it doesn't fucking matter because you've completely detached yourself from the outcome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
but the flip side of this is that it feels really good. This is just therapy for me. It feels I'm super selfish to be doing this because it makes me feel so good to just the process of just making shit makes me feel better about life. If I didn't have this shit, I don't know what would happen. No, but that's the other aspect of it though. It feels good to fucking do it.
So you
Because you
indulge.
have no clue where it's going.
You indulge.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm addicted to this shit. I love doing this shit. I feel so great after recording stuff, after drawing something cool and looking at it and thinking that I made something good and I'm just getting better at something. You just look at it. That feeling I get, I'm seeking that, of course.
Mm-hmm.